Welcome to the IPF World Championships live in Istanbul, Turkey. I am Ryan Sixpack Lapidat, and today I got a co-host, a co-commentator, fresh off of his silver medal just yesterday, coming from the Eriksson family. And anybody who knows the Eriksson family from Sweden, you guys are collecting titles, expanding the resume. My friend Theo Eriksson, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I had a solid competition yesterday. Didn't quite get the kilos I wanted, but I guess that's the case every time.
It is always the case. There's always wanting a little bit more. That's part of being an athlete, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Any injuries or anything to speak of?
No, not really. My brother has been keeping me hard on training. No injuries. He wouldn't allow me.
That would be Alexander Eriksson, of course, world champion in and out of equipment as a junior and won a title in the Open as well. Today we have the sub-junior and junior 83s. We will bounce back and forth between the sub-juniors and juniors, and we'll let you know as the lifters come out whether or not they're a sub-junior and a junior. And up first, we have Zednik with 100 kilos even in the sub-junior class. Now this is equipped. Well, you know what? More specifically and more accurately, this is the Open. You can wear as much or as little equipment as you like. Looks like this gentleman opting just for a singlet and knee wraps. Do you see that often?
Nah, not really. Maybe he will take on a suit for the next lift, just trying to secure a lift. Or he will do only wraps, I don't really know.
Yeah. No, we seen yesterday some of the lifters bombing out when they had their bench shirts on, and sometimes if you're not used to the equipment, it's okay to come in raw, as they say, for at least one lift, get a lift in, and then put the equipment on afterwards, or you certainly don't want to rush it. And Kilic, representing host nation of Turkey with 180 kilos. And then look at this, it looks like knee sleeves instead of wraps, getting a bit of a mixed bag already. Kilic, a sub-junior. And some of these sub-juniors, I mean, when I was that age, I didn't look that grown. That's intimidating.
Yeah, we can see that the first lifter also, he did not put in another attempt, maybe has an injury coming in, just securing a lift.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe that's why then. And no sense, obviously, to suit up if you're actually just coming in for a token lift. Vasil Zabandut of Ukraine, 190 kilos for his opening squat. Again, looks like we have a singlet with knee wraps. Got called on depth here. It was fast. Yeah, I don't know. Borderline, isn't it? Sometimes they look like they're right borderline.
Yeah, it's especially hard to see when it goes down so quick.
That's right.
Bar is loaded 200 kilos for
Abed Al-Jabbar with 200 kilos even, representing Palestine. We are in the junior 83s now. Singlet and knee wraps. Oh, little wobble. See what the judges say. Yeah, one on depth, one on the down up. Or two on the down up. You see here the depth. Oh, it's around that. It's around there again, borderline. It's interesting. We're seeing far more people in a mix of equipment as opposed to full-on equipment in this session so far than any of the other previous sessions. All the other sessions, people are full-on committed to coming out in equipment. Sometimes to the detriment, people were bombing out on bench press when they weren't used to the shirts yet. Saad Batar of Mongolia, 220 for his opening squat. What do you think, Theo?
Yeah, it was a little dip in the end, we'll see. Yeah. So usually when it can be quite hard, especially on the lower weights, that you want to get secure lift for the first lift for the judges, and then you kind of dip in at the, you feel like, okay, now I'm down, so you dip the last centimeter just to be sure.
You're almost searching for that depth. It's a different ball game once you got equipment on. Simon Bjorndal?
Björndal.
Bjorndal? There we go.
Yeah.
Makes it easier having a Swede in the commentary booth.
It looks like a solid lift. See what the judge say. Yeah.
3 white lights.
The next one is from Sweden, Oscar Dahlqvist. 240 kilos. Bar is loaded for Oscar.
And Oscar Dahlqvist.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
You're a master in Swedish pronunciation.
I'm getting better. 240 kilos for his opening squat.
Looked easy.
Yeah. Look nice and smooth.
His first international comp as well.
And how is the travel from mainland Europe over here? It's not so bad, is it?
No, it's very convenient. I went with plane with Oscar actually. And it only took like 3-4 hours.
Right. And so coming from Canada, moving within Canada is like 3 or 4 hours sometimes. So that's almost like a domestic flight for some nations. Not bad at all. Although some of the North American lifters coming from Asia, other parts of Asia like Japan and whatnot, it can still be a big travel, multiple time zone changes, and it's a big factor for some of these lifters, especially if you're a sub-junior or junior, unaccustomed to it. And Rubits of Ukraine, 242.5. We are in the sub-juniors now. He's on the board.
Very solid squat. Looked very similar. I think it's his brother coaching him.
Is that right?
Yeah, strong 105 squatter, has done world records before.
Those brother duos, you got to watch out for them, buddy. Kevin Schmidt of Austria. We're back in the juniors, 245 for his opening squat. What do you think about that depth?
I don't know. We'll see what the judge says. Oh, 2 to 1.
2 to 1, and you know what? The ref from our angle called it on depth, so maybe it's just an angle. Sometimes lifters, their hips don't rest entirely even. It can be deceiving. Let's see. Yeah, looked high from there.
Yeah. But maybe he's much lower on the other side.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Gregory Austin from Belgium. 245 kilos. We're staying in the junior class.
Good move.
3 white lights, he's on the board.
From Czech Republic.
Very wide stance in.
Bar is
Yeah, it's a wide stance squat. Sometimes it makes it difficult to hit depth that way, but if that's the way your levers are. Lucas Roseno from Czechia, 250 kilos, staying in the junior class. Have you ever competed and missed your opener?
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Take me back all the way to yesterday. And how is it in terms of anxiety?
No, it's quite nervous, and we went in very light in order to secure, but then I got to 2 to 1 red lighted, so.
3 white lights and he's on the board. Yeah, when you go in light on purpose to secure it and you miss, whether depth or not, that's where it's like, oh my gosh, we picked this weight specifically to make it easy, and I fumbled the ball.
Yeah, it felt quite hard, like instantly, but I felt like, okay, now we'll just secure this once again, because there's no point in going up. Just show for the judges that you really know this, in order to heighten the weight for the last attempt. That's more important for the long game usually.
Yeah, it's dicey. If you miss a weight, move up. You miss the first weight on a technicality, move up. You miss the second weight on strength. Now you back yourself into a corner. And you're like, I should have retook that opening weight. Christian Laja from U.S., 255 kilos for his opening squat.
Looks strong.
3 white lights, and that is in the sub-juniors. Some of these sub-juniors are huge. Now, do you cut a lot of weight?
No, I did it previously, but for this competition I was accidentally light, so that's very convenient.
Yeah.
I could eat the day before. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's nice when you don't have to worry about it. Going back into the juniors, Ludvig Moen of Norway, 287.5.
Yeah, he's a reigning European junior champion.
Is that right?
Yeah, and did a very solid competition back in Czechia in May.
The biggest squad opener. Oh my gosh. Well, that looked like an opener too.
Yeah, he's a very secure lifter. I think he went 9 out of 9 at last comp, so I was in no doubt that he would make it.
Yeah, especially in the juniors, when you have that kind of poise. There's a look, how it looks after the first round of squats. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of movement come the second and thirds.
Bar is loaded.
And we're going to go back into the sub-juniors, where Kilic of Turkey will attempt 187.5 kilos.
Yeah, we can see at the temp board that he's doing only in sleeves, and it's quite a little bit lower jump for his second attempt in comparison to the people doing full equipment.
Goodly.
And is that even a squat suit? I think that might be just a singlet too.
Yeah, it looked like a singlet.
So he is full-on classic raw. But he's a host nation. So in terms of travel, very convenient. World Championships comes into town. A lot easier. It doesn't matter what World Championships. I don't lift equipment. You might still show up, represent the nation. Ahmed El Jabbar. Skyek with 200 kilos once again. Missed it on his opener due to depth. Opting for the singlet and knees wrapped. We're back in the junior class, by the way. See if the judges like this better. We are in the sub-junior class. And Team Mongolia has quite a few lifters so far in the equipped. It's interesting, certain nations are more represented in the equipped than others, particularly in North America. Obviously, Canada, being Canadian myself, we have one lifter in all of the equipped, where other nations like Ukraine, heavily populated in the equipped divisions.
Looks very secure.
Good
3 white
play.
lights.
3 white lights. The next one is Simon from Sweden. 240 kilos. Followed by Oscar from Sweden. Bar is loaded for Simon.
Bjorn Dahl.
Björnal, yeah?
Bjorn Dahl. I gotta string it together a little bit quicker, but Bjorn Dahl, 240 kilos, 10 kilo jump from his opener, back in the junior class.
Yeah, based on his first attempt, this shouldn't be an issue.
Good play.
3 whites. Yeah, he goes right onto that line with that depth.
Bar is loaded for Oscar from Sweden.
Very economical with it.
252.5
Oscar
kilos.
back with a 252.5 kilo squat, second attempt. Also from Sweden. And in the projected, they are very close to within 10 kilos.
Good play.
3 white lights.
The next one is Kevin Schmidt from
Dahlqvist back on the board. And these gentlemen at the Nationals, was it a battle between them?
No, actually it was the national in equipped in Sweden this winter got cancelled due to the pandemic. We had an outburst there, so it's actually the Swedish National Championship in about 2 weeks. So they have not competed against each other before.
Oh, wow. Well, it looks like we got a budding rivalry, judging by how close they are. And Schmidt, Kevin Schmidt from Austria, 255 kilos. We're staying in the junior class.
It's a very strong bench presser. He just came from the Europeans in bench press, catching the gold on one of the best lifters.
Oh, wow. That depth is questionable. See what the judges say.
Good leg.
Take a look at the replay here.
The next one is David Rubin from Ukraine, 255 kilos, followed by Lucas from Czech Republic. Bar is loaded for Rubin.
Take it and don't look back.
Yes.
And David Rubitz of Ukraine, 255 kilos for his second attempt, doing the sub-junior class now.
Good leg.
No question on that one.
Next one is Lucas Rosen from Czech Republic, 260 kilos, followed by Gregory from Belgium.
Moving back to the junior class, Lucas Rosenal of Czechia. 260 kilos, 10 kilo jump for him. And what do you think about these jumps? Is 10 kilo about what you would be used to seeing in the equipment?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that much. It's quite usual jump. Uh, Usually you want to get the first lift is usually sometimes harder to come down to depth than the second because you get a little bit more weight on there.
That squat looks pretty good. Judges agree. Yeah, it's an awkward proposition because you want enough weight that you're going to be able to hit depth, but you don't want to go too heavy where if you're having a tough day due to travel, weight cut, time zone change, etc., and you're not as strong as usual, all of a sudden it's too heavy. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit harder to choose the attempts in my opinion, but it makes it very interesting to watch.
Right.
See those big jumps.
You get more fireworks, that's for sure. We're staying in the juniors now, where Gregory Austin of Belgium will attempt 260 kilos. Nice catch.
And the referee says,
Austin guaranteed himself advancement by locking in that opener, and that's why the opener selection is so important.
Yeah, it looks like his knees started to tilt a little bit inwards, and then with the suit it's quite hard to keep upright.
The variables of equipped lifting. We're moving back to the sub-juniors, where Christian will attempt 270 kilos, 15 kilo jump. See what the judges say. 2 to 1, it's in.
There's no question about strength in that lift.
Strength was good. It was right on that line for depth, though. We are going to move back to the junior class. We're breaking into the 300s now. Ludwig will attempt 302.5 kilos, representing Norway.
Yeah, based on how his training has looked lately, I don't think this should be an issue.
661 pounds, or 666 pounds, sorry. And it wasn't a major issue. Wow. Big squatting power in the 83 kilo junior class. And that concludes 2 rounds of squatting. And this is where we rest at before we enter the 3rd and final squats. We lost 1 competitor. Looked like he came in with the game plan of just getting a token squat in. And have 1 competitor yet to get a squat on the board. So all types of drama. Back into the sub-juniors we go, where Kilic, representing the host nation of Turkey, will attempt 192.5 kilos for his 3rd and final squat. I was going to say, the judges aren't going to love that depth.
No, it looked like he got bent a bit too much forward, and then it was impossible to get down in the hole.
Yeah, when that bar path is no longer upright, you start tilting forward, lose your chest. It's tough with equipment, and I understand that individual was not in equipment, but with equipment, Is it even worse?
Yeah, I would say so, because then you can almost shoot forward due to the knee reps, and then no way you can save that.
And Abed Al-Jabbar from Palestine, 200 kilos, missed it on his first and second. It is not a question of strength. It's only depth. And he looks so strong with it, and it's so fast. He's got to tell himself, drop it. Spread the knees and drop into the hole. Much better. Wow. That was... It begs the question, why did you do that the first time? But it is what it is. He's on the board now.
Yeah, that looked like a school book example.
Yeah. I mean, he left no doubt on that one. Look how low. There we go. Nicely done. And Team Palestine breathes a sigh of relief. Sabatar of Mongolia, 240 kilos. Sadbatar.
Yeah, he has been looking very secure in his first two attempts, so.
Yeah, this young man has built the squat. I'm not sure on that depth, though.
Yeah, it looks like it cut a little bit. 2-1.
Yeah, maybe it was our angle. Where the same judge from our angle called it on depth as well, and I'd agree. Looking at the replay here, it's the same angle as the judge that called it on depth, which we... Yeah, it looks high from here. But you take it and go. And Vasil...
Done a big jump.
Yeah, 42.5 kilos. Now, this will take him from fourth to third for squat medals, but a 42.5 kilo jump. Let's see how he handles it. I mean, to move fast.
Yeah, he put on the suit for his third attempt. The first two.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, he only had the singlet on his first two attempts, and then he put on the suit.
Good eyes, my friend. That's interesting tactics.
Yeah, I don't really know why. He looked very secure in the suit.
Yeah, I'm wondering myself now. Pull the old allow me to introduce myself in the third. And we're back into the junior class. Bjorndal, 250 kilos. For his third and final, looking to go 3 for 3. Oh, a little shaky on the descent. Yeah, it looked a little shaky on the descent, and like he might have cut it a little high. Sometimes, if it doesn't feel right, self-preservation kicks in, you start cutting it a little high, right?
I actually think that he got another extra laps from the knee reps, and then it's quite hard to get down. Sometimes you put it up extra hard for the last attempt to get more strength, but it's sometimes you lose control from it, so you have to weigh the different options.
Gotcha. It gets tighter and tighter as the weight gets heavier, huh? 260 on the bar. We're staying in the junior class for Gregory Austin of Belgium.
He has done these weights before. I think he might have gotten a bit tough angle going down, so I think he might have it this time.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little pulled out of position at the bottom there. Yeah, almost immediately coming out of the hole.
Yeah, he got tilted forward and couldn't keep up the chest, and then it's a lot of weight on the back.
This is true. Oscar coming out to 262.5 kilos. Oscar Dahlqvist.
Moving up to silver position in the squat.
Got 3 lifters left to go. If temporarily, this could be a silver medal. Everybody lights.
The next one is Kevin Schmidt from Austria, 262.5 kilos. Bar is loaded for Kevin.
And Kevin Schmid from Austria, 262.5 kilos, loaded for his 3rd and final. This would put him on the podium for the bronze medal position with 2 lifters left to go, if he can hit it.
Very solid walkout.
Although he is heavier. Proves academic. I think he did cut a little high there as well, looking at that replay. So even if he completed it, I don't think he's going to get the 3 white lights. We're going to move back to the sub-juniors. David Rubitz of Ukraine, 265 kilos.
Looked like a very good attempt choice.
Yeah, sometimes they get it right on the money. Any more, they would have missed it. Any less, they're leaving a little bit of money on the table.
Bar is loaded for Lucas.
Back into the junior class. Lukas Rosenal from Czechia, 270 kilos, looking to go 3 for 3 in the squat event. Whoa, and it's a battle, but nope.
Oh.
Something happened. Oh, you're not allowed to. Oh, wait, he's limping off. So I'm not sure. You're supposed to stay with the bar, obviously, but the way he yelled, I think he felt something tear or something, as though, no, I can't stay with this bar, and then he limped off. Like even staying with it and walking it in might have been an issue, but I don't know.
No, because it looks like he had it. It was on its way. It must have felt some kind of pain.
Yeah, a tear or something or rather. I don't know.
Hopefully it's okay to finish the rest of the lifts.
He really popped out from underneath that bar. I think he must have felt something bad.
Yeah, I think so.
And thought, I need to hit the ejection button and get out of here. 285 kilos are back in the sub-junior class. Christian representing the U.S. He already has the gold in the squat event. lights, and it's good.
And ladies and gentlemen, the last one is the biggest one. Ludwig Moore from Norway, 310 kilos.
And the final squat
Bar is loaded for
of this
Ludwig.
flight,
Come on,
Ludwig
everybody. Big hands for him.
coming out to 310 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump. Already has the gold medal in squat locked up. This is kilos he could add towards his total. Oh, a little too much.
Not this time.
And the spotter's doing an excellent job today.
Thank you, everybody, for your support. And we will move on to the bench press 20 minutes from now.
Looks like he hit depth and just a few inches before lockout. Strength failed him, and there's a look. Christian taking the 83 kilo sub-junior gold medal in squats. David Rubits of Ukraine taking the silver. Vasil of Ukraine taking the bronze. And in the junior class, Ludwig walks away with the gold. Oscar from Sweden, taking the silver, and Lucas from Czechia taking the bronze. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with the bench press event. We will take a short 20-minute break. We'll see you then. And welcome back to the IPF World Championships live in Istanbul, Turkey. I am Ryan Sixpack Lapidat, and I got in the booth with me today Theo Eriksson, fresh off of winning the silver medal yesterday in the 74 kilo junior equipped. My friend, we're starting off in the bench press for the 83 sub junior in juniors, and we got some big pressers here, don't we? It looks like in the juniors, Schmidt from Austria opening up with 205 kilos. Wondering where we're going to end up. Only time will tell. Looking at the running order here, or looking at the squats here, there's the running order. And we will bounce back and forth between the sub-juniors and juniors. I'll let you know which lifter is in which class as they approach the platform. Kicking us off, we will be in the sub-junior class where Zednik from Czechia will open up with 105 kilos. Now, Theo, when you're opening up in the bench press, we saw a lot of people bombing out yesterday. The shirt is a whole entire different variable, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. For me personally, it's my favorite lift, so maybe not the usual, but I feel most confident for the bench press, but I know a lot of people thinks that's the scariest because it's the most variables with equipment that can go wrong.
Yeah, if you get the wrong bar path when you got a shirt on, very difficult to regain.
We say good play.
That looks fast. It was a long way to go down.
It was a long way down. Zednik on the board. You're right, very minimal arch. Up next, Kilic representing host nation of Turkey. Again, opting to go raw. 110 kilos for his opening press. We are in the sub-junior class.
Good play. The next athlete is Vasil Spanduk from Ukraine.
And he's on the board. Now this is when choosing your attempts gets dicey. You need enough weight that you can touch. And this is a concept a lot of people who are used to training raw might not get, where just making sure you have enough weight so that it touches when you're wearing the shirt can be difficult. But not too much weight because it's an opener.
Yeah, not only touch, it also alters a bit of the bar path, so it can be quite difficult to get it straight down and would rather want to move towards the belly.
And Vasil from Ukraine, 110 kilos, negotiates that well. So if it's not enough weight, it's going to move towards the belly?
Yeah, or at least that's my case, but I feel it's much more difficult to control. So it's not uncommon that they maybe use a board for the warm-up with the lighter weights.
130 kilos. Bar is
Just more variables to consider when lifting with equipment. And we are in the junior division now, where Ahmed Al-Jabbar Skeik from Palestine, 130 kilos for his opening press, opting to have no shirt on, no bench shirt. He also didn't have a squat suit, but he has his knees wrapped.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him put on a shirt after securing a first attempt.
In the squat event, he had issues getting that opening weight in. Not the case here.
The next one is Christian Laja from the United States, followed by Oscar from Sweden. 135 kilos.
Christian Laha
Loaded for Christian.
from U.S., 135 kilos for his opening bench. We're back into the sub-juniors. And some of these shirts I've noticed aren't as tight as you might see in the open.
Yeah, it's a bit of preference on how, like, you might get a bit more boost if you have a tighter shirt, but it also gets it more difficult to control. So it's a balance.
Yeah, especially if you're starting out in the sub juniors, just getting used to equipment.
Sometimes you also see people changing shirts between lifts. It's a risky tactic, but it might work sometimes.
Yeah, if you know, look, I guarantee I could get one in with this shirt, get your opener in, and then, all right, now we're on the board. We could get a little more risky. How long does it take to get a shirt on, though, if it's really tight?
Well, it depends on how good of like you get support from your coaches pulling it up, but yeah, it's tight if it's a small class.
Yep. Yeah, and we've seen some of those with just 8 athletes and the turnaround's quick. Oscar is going to attempt 140 kilos. We're back in the junior 83s. Representing Sweden. Tio's teammate.
Good play.
He's on the board.
Yeah, look very confident.
The next one is Lucas Rosenberg from Czech Republic, 150 kilos.
From Czechia, Lucas Rosenal, 250 kilos. We're staying in the junior class. Makes easy work of it.
Yeah, very fast lift.
Good play.
And when it comes to the openers, no news is good news, my friend. When it gets dramatic and it's the openers, that's usually means because people are missing and and things are getting spicy. We're going to stay in the juniors now. 150 kilos loaded. Bjorndal.
Bar is loaded.
Born in 99, I believe that'll make it this his last year as a junior. If my math is right.
Yeah, it is. We actually had our first competition against each other back at sub juniors 5 years ago.
Good play.
The lift is good.
The next one is David Rubens from Ukraine. 150 kilos still on the bar. And bar is loaded for David Rubens.
David Rubitz representing Ukraine. We're moving back into the sub-juniors. 150 kilos loaded for his opening bench. Little stutter there. Might have been some down up on the bar.
Sorry, no lift.
Yeah, it looks like his right arm is lagging a bit behind.
The next one is Bian Bajargal from Mongolia.
Yeah.
155 kilos.
Locked out, one arm then the other. The bar went up down and it's
bar is
First
loaded for
opener
Young
that gets
Bajar.
readied. Saad Batar from Mongolia, 155 kilos for his opener. A little down up as well. I think he had a little bit of difficulty there.
Yeah, it looked like it was quite hard to control on the downward. Maybe they altered the shirt a little bit so it gets easier to get down.
185 kilos.
And can you make alterations like that? Just kind of move it around when you're back there to...
Yeah, you can pull it either in the arms or angle the sleeves. You can also do adjustments both in the neck and around the chest. And it's much about personal preferences.
Ludwig opening with 185 kilos. Had a big 302.5 squat back in the juniors.
Very confident lift.
Good lift. The next one is Gregory Austin from Belgium, followed by Kevin Schmidt from Austria. 185 kilos.
Gregory Austin representing Belgium, 185 kilos will stay on the bar for him.
Good lift.
And Austin is on the board.
The next one is Kevin Schmidt from Austria, 305 kilos.
And Kevin Schmidt from Austria, the biggest opener in this flight, 205 kilos. And it's good. It's difficult to say how many more kilos some of these lifters have when you watch them press.
Yeah, it can be really difficult with the shirt. I think he has a bit more in him. I think he did, I don't remember the exact number, but I remember doing more at the Europeans in bench press.
Yeah, it's just with that shirt, sometimes the way, if the touch point wasn't the way you liked it, or a small misgroove makes it look so much more difficult than it actually is. They can come back the next press, and all of a sudden, boom, it looks entirely different. Even though it was heavier, it might even look smoother sometimes. It can surprise you, so it can be hard to read. And we are back in the sub-juniors, where Zednik from Czechia will take 110 kilo as we begin the second round of bench pressing.
Good lift. one is Kıvanç Kılıç from Turkey, 115 kilos. The bar is loaded.
Kilic from Turkey, representing the host nation, 115 kilos for his second attempt. 5 kilo jump. Lifting raw. And it's interesting, we do have a raw division in these championships, but perhaps Turkey has 2 sub-junior 83s. One of them went raw. Perhaps they both lift raw, but one of them's lifting in the raw division, so the other one has to lift in the equipped. I don't know.
The next one is Wasil Bandus from Ukraine, 117.5 kilos. Bar is loaded for Wasil.
Vasil with Ukraine, 117.5 kilos for his second attempt. 7.5 kilo jump from his opener, and we're going to stay in the sub-juniors.
And the referees say goodbye.
3 white lights.
The next one is Abed El Jabbar from Palestine, 140 kilos, followed by Christian Laja.
Moving back into the juniors, 140 kilos being loaded for Palestine's Abed Al-Jabbar Skake. He went 1 for 3 in the squats, looking to improve that ratio in the bench press. Also lifting without a shirt. Tio, you had thought, well, maybe he's going to have no shirt for his first one, get one in, put a shirt on afterwards. It looks like he's uncomfortable with the shirt, and that's fine.
And the referees say
3 whites. He's got a little bit of positive momentum.
Yeah, looked very strong in both his attempts.
Missed his first 2 lifts. Things got dicey. He hit his 3rd squat, and now he's 3 for 3 in his last 3 attempts. Got some positive momentum going for him. And we go back into the sub-juniors where Christian Laha of U.S. 242.5 for his second attempt. 7.5 kilo jump. Three whites, a little bit of movement as he's lowering the bar down to his chest. But he finds it and gets the press command. See right there, there's a little movement back and forth, but he finds the chest, the touch point he wants.
from Sweden, 147
And he's 2 for 2 in the bench event.
by David Rubet.
Moving back to the juniors now.
Bar is
Oscar
loaded for Oscar from Sweden.
Dalkvist. 147.5 kilos for his second attempt, 7.5 kilo jump. And he's a rather light 83, weighing in at 79 kilo on the dot. Is he new to this weight class? Do you know?
He has been shifting a bit. He has sometimes competed in 74, sometimes been competing in the 83. But I think he lost a bit of weight, as I've heard from the heat right now. It's very hot here in Turkey.
Bar is loaded for David Rubets.
Moving back to the sub-juniors. David Rubits of Ukraine missed 150 on his opener, retaking that weight now. Obviously needs to get a bench in if he wants to move forward to the deadlifts and have a total. What do you think, Theo?
Yeah, I think it looks good. He got much better speed off the chest, so he didn't get that movement between his arms in the lockout.
From Sweden.
Small adjustments make all the difference, and he's back on the board. And we go back to the junior 83s,
Bar is loaded for Simon
where
from Sweden.
Bjorndal of Sweden, 155 on the bar for his second attempt. 5 kilo jump. And what kind of jumps do you like to take in the bench when it's equipped?
It all depends on the competition. Usually I like to take around 7.5 to 10 kilo jumps. And yesterday it was just about securing a little bit more weight towards the deadlift.
Bjorndal, relatively conservative 5 kilo, but he gets it.
The next one is Bjorn Bajargal from Mongolia, 155 kilos. Bar is
Bjorn
loaded.
Bajargal of Mongolia missed 155 kilos in his opener. Retaking it now. You've seen several lifters make some small adjustments and hit the same weight they had previously missed. It's possible. Ooh. And that was a good catch by the spotters because that came quickly.
Yeah, it looked like it dipped quite quick in the
Next one
bottom,
is Lucas Rosenau.
and then it just
Czech
shoots
Republic,
backwards.
160 kilos.
Is that so? Was that just the bar path got off away from him?
Yeah,
or-
it looked like he lost a bit of control when touching the chest. You see, it looked like he pressed a bit before the press command as well, and just trying to get it up.
And now he's backed himself into a corner, 2 misses, with only 1 bench left to go, facing elimination. Now he could move forward in the deadlifts, but he won't be able to get a total. We're going to move back into the juniors, where Lucas Rosenau of Czechia is going to attempt 160 kilos for a second attempt. Ooh, stalls out, but I don't think I saw a down up.
No, it looks good.
Good man.
Judges agree.
Sometimes, depending on how you pull the shirt, it can sometimes be that you pull it too much upwards towards the arms, don't get pressure right on the triceps, and the lockout can be quite difficult to get.
Yeah, we've seen that. Staying in the 83 juniors in Ludvig from Norway will attempt 192.5 kilos.
The next one is Ludvig Moen from Norway, 192.5 kilos. Bar is loaded for Ludvig.
Ludvig grabbed the squat gold medal. And looking like he's pacing for a podium finish on the bench. Still one more round of benching to go after this. Gets 3 whites. Looked like for a second there, somewhat struggling to find that touch point. Searching for it. There he gets it.
Next one is Gregory Austin.
Yeah, it can be those last centimeters in the going down that can be the most difficult.
And if it felt long for us, imagine what it felt like for him. And staying in the 83 juniors, Gregory Austin of Belgium, 200 kilos even, 15 kilo jump. Good catch by the spotters.
It looked like he couldn't quite get his chest up. And his arms going in more and more as the closer he got it to the chest, and it can be very difficult to push from that position.
Yeah, the elbows were tight to the body. There's a rather low touch point on his body as well.
Yeah, I think it was that he found some difficulties really chesting up towards the shirt.
Kevin Schmidt.
And Kevin Schmidt, 83 kilo junior, 212.5 kilos for a second attempt. This is the final bench of the second round of benching. $205 looked like some work, especially for an opener, but sometimes that's just how some people lift as well. I mean, you have people like Penna in the 66s, and every single lift looks like a grinder, including his warm-ups.
Yeah, he looked very confident in this lift as well.
3 white lights. Good lift.
3 white lights.
The next one is Tuanch Kulich from Turkey. 100.
Full control, going down with the bar.
Yeah, that's a nice bench. And after 2 rounds, David Rubitz in the sub-junior has the lead, and Kevin Schmidt
Bar is loaded for
in the
Tuanch.
juniors has the lead. 1 more round to go. We will go back to the sub-juniors, where Kilic from Turkey will attempt 120 kilos.
No move. The next one is Matej Zednik from Czech Republic, 120 kilos. Followed by Vasil Spandov. Bar is loaded for Matej.
Staying in the sub-juniors now, Zednik with 120 kilos loaded for his 3rd and final press.
Please say good lift, 2 to 1.
2 to 1 good lift.
Bar is loaded for Vasil Spandov from Ukraine.
Vasil Zbandit from Ukraine, 122.5 kilos loaded for his 3rd and final bench of the day. 5 kilo jump. Currently in 4th. This will temporarily move him into a bronze medal position for the bench press with 3 lifters left to go. But also building towards that total. Oh, nope. Couldn't negotiate that touch point. 3 lifters up, 2 failures. The fellas are pushing themselves to the limit now. And we're moving back to the 83 juniors, where Abed Al-Jabbar Skeik from Palestine taking a 2.5 kilo jump. Abed. Oh, looks like Zednik's lift has been overruled. So now we have 3 lifters up, 3 failures. Nobody's gotten on the board yet, Tio. Can Al-Jabbar do it from Palestine? Now he's lifting raw. Maybe that's going to improve his chances? Less variables?
Yeah, he looked very confident. It's both the first and second attempt, and his third is only going up 2.5 kilos, so he's definitely within his limits, I think.
2.5 kilo jump. It's nothing drastic. 140 moved reasonably well. It was work. Can we get back on the board with some green? Oh no. Just a little past midpoint. Oh, looks like he's got a bit of a leg cramp there. And that's, you know, some people don't realize you use a lot of leg drive for bench press.
Yeah, you can see he's really pushing his legs there, and
he immediately kicked his left leg out. I guess as soon as his leg cramped up, that's when the bar stopped. You know, some people think bench press is just a movement for the chest, but that is definitely not the case. Have to engage the lats, the legs, triceps, as well as the whole core needs to be tight. And Christian Laha back into the sub-juniors with 147.5. 4 up, 4 down. Can Christian get us on the board? He has the silver medal in bench press, already locked up. I think he might have done it.
yeah.
Christian gets us a little bit of green on the board, Tio.
Yeah, it looks like a good attempt choice, increasing his lead towards the deadlift.
And looking ahead at the projected, he is a heavy favorite to walk away with the World Championships for the sub-juniors.
Yeah, definitely. But we have seen people putting in low deadlifts before. We never know what happens.
Yes, this is right. This is true. The projected can lie to you. Moving back to the junior. 152.5 kilos loaded for Oscar Dahlqvist of Sweden. Dahlqvist? How am I getting
Yeah,
better and better?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect pronunciation.
Producer looked back so proud of me. No lift. Let's take a look on the replay.
Next one is Jan Bajargo from Mongolia.
Yeah, we can see the butt go up a little bit in the press there.
I thought I saw it from this angle. We don't have the best angle to see if the butt comes up. You see the hips certainly rise, and sometimes indication. Now, the Mongolian lifter here missed 155 twice. Facing elimination, he can continue to the deadlifts, but it won't count towards a total, which means it won't count towards team points for Mongolia. Can he get it on this third and final bench?
This is also for the projected gold in the bench press in sub-junior class.
Good point. This is all or nothing. Gold or nothing. Oh my gosh. And we've seen it again. Out from the fire, snatches victory and the gold medal.
Yeah, it looked very confident. I just think he got some like difficulties putting down the bar in the first 2 attempts. Maybe they did some adjustments, but definitely worked out.
And David Rubitz, currently in the silver medal position, could snatch that gold medal with 155 kilo as well.
Yeah, he weighed in very light.
Very light, yeah. 77.6. I mean, he could easily cut the 74, but he's a sub-junior. Not a lot of sub-juniors are going to be cutting, especially with international travel, and if it's one of your first international meets.
Super fast.
And there it is. Why cut when you could hang with the big boys? 155 kilos nets in the gold in the sub-junior 83s, and we move back to the juniors. So in the sub-juniors, it was 50-50 in terms of the failure rate in the third and final round. Let's see what the juniors bring us. So far, 2 up, 2 down, both failures. And your countryman up next with 157.5. Bjorndal, what do you think? Is he going to have it?
I really hope so. I don't think he's ever done 3 out of 3 benches, but this
Is
might
that right?
be the first time.
Is that right? Well, this is the place to do it. 2.5 kilo jump, so it's a conservative jump. Oh, no, the trend continues. You know what, I hate to say it, I think it might have been your lack of faith in him.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry, Simon.
And we are 3 up, 3 down. There's a lot. So out of the 9 third attempts we've had, only 3 people have gotten them. And this is an indication these lifters were at the World Championships pushing themselves to the limit, trying to get every kilo they can, obviously in the discipline of bench pressers medals as well. And 165 kilos loaded for Lucas Rosenal of Czechia. 5 kilo jump. Will he be the first junior 83 to get his final bench attempt?
He's been very confident, so.
Oh, wow. Huge effort to lock that out at the end. 3 whites, and we're back in the green.
Yeah, definitely the perfect attempt selection.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have put another 2.5 kilo on there. That would have been asking a little too much. Handlers did their job with the temp selection. He did his job with execution. And Ludvig from Norway, 202.5 in the silver medal position for bench press. Two lifters to go after him, so the silver medal might not be his by the end. Locks it out, certainly builds his case for that silver. 3 whites. Well, he's going to be on the bench podium regardless, whatever his medal is. Collecting medals in both disciplines.
Yeah, now he's got a real solid subtotal going into the deadlifts. I think it'd be hard to pull ahead of him.
Yeah, he set himself up nicely. 5 for 6, I believe, so far. I think he missed his last squat, if that's not.
Yeah.
205 for Gregory Austin of Belgium. Missed 200, opting to go up to 205 regardless. This will move him from bronze to silver in the bench event, and in the bigger picture, he's chasing Austria's Schmidt on the podium for a possible silver. Yeah, he had an issue.
Come on.
Oh, I think he might stick through it, though. That right arm is lagging. Can he lock it out? Oh, my gosh, what an effort. I'll give him that.
And the referee say
It was a real grinder, but quite interesting just seeing his style. As you see, he got quite narrower bench width, and then go very far down and towards the belly.
Yeah, he's just a couple inches over the belly button. Elbows tucked in quite a bit. But I think his butt was coming up as well, and that wasn't going to pass. 217.5 kilos now loaded for Kevin Schmidt of Austria. He already has the gold medal in bench, but the bigger picture, once again, adding more kilos towards his total. He's got a strong case for silver, but the more kilos he can add towards his total makes it a lot easier. It's just less he has to deadlift to maintain that lead. Be difficult for him to catch up to Ludwig for the gold.
and the referee say
3 white lights.
Yeah, very good bench press.
Add 5 more kilo towards his total.
We'll move on to the judges. 20 minutes from now.
Fundamentally solid, and that's how gold medals are won. Taking a look at David Rubitz, Ukraine, in the sub-juniors, taking the gold. Sabatar in the sub-juniors, I say settling for the silver, but I tell you what, after missing your first and second attempt and getting it on your third, leaving with the silver is a hell of a consolation prize. And Christian Laha from the U.S. in the sub-juniors taking the bronze medal. In the junior 83s, Kevin Schmidt from Austria taking the, I think I called him Ludwig for a second there, taking the gold. Ludwig from Norway taking the silver, and Gregory Austin from Belgium taking the bronze. You don't want to go anywhere. We will be back after a short 20-minute break to see the conclusion of the 83 sub-junior and juniors. See you in 20 from Six Pack Lapidat and Tio Eriksson. Welcome back to the IPF World Championships here live in Istanbul, Turkey. I am Ryan Sixpack Lapidat, and accompanied in the commentary booth is Theo Eriksson, silver medalist from the 74 kilo junior class just yesterday. And we have the sub-junior and junior 83s. Here is a look at the totals. This is the subtotals. We're entering into the deadlift event, and sometimes, my friend Theo, we see a shake-up in the deadlift sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, sometimes people go and relight and do some big jumps, hoping for those medals. This is usually where the real competition starts and the coaches go back and forth.
Yeah, and you had said earlier, some of those deadlift openers were lies and they were adjusted. Obviously, the last deadlift can be adjusted twice over as well. So in terms of game day handling, to a large extent, this is where you're going to see it come into play. Some of the nations are very much accustomed to playing the game, as they say, when it gets down to the deadlifts. Other nations who aren't at the world championship level as often, this is when the coaching staff, it really starts to show. And you got some wily veterans out there. Kicking us off with Zednik in Czechia. We're in the sub-junior 83s with 190 kilos to open us up. Now, he's got wraps on his knees. You don't often see that in the deadlifts.
No, I think there's some people feel like they get an extra boost. For me personally, I think they can usually alter the bar path. You can't get this close, but I've seen it before in the equipped.
And when you're pulling sumo as well, the gnarling of the bar might catch onto those wraps and create some friction.
Yeah, it definitely can. But if it works for him, it works for him.
He's young and he's trying things out. Oh, to be young again. David Rubits of Ukraine, 202.5, staying in the sub-juniors.
He has been lifting very secure throughout the entire competition.
Pacing, anyways, for a silver medal, but it's going to be close with the Mongolian having hit his last bench press and entering into the conversation.
And the referee saying good play. The next one is Kıvanç Kılıç from Turkey, 205 kilos. Followed by Ahmed El Jabbar from Palestine.
Staying in the sub-juniors, Kilic from the host nation Turkey, 205 kilos.
205 kilos. And the referee say good.
He's on the board.
3 white lights. The next one is Ahmed El Jabbar from Palestine, 210 kilos. Bar is loaded.
Moving
for El
back
Jabbar.
into the juniors now. Abid Al-Jabbar Skaik from Palestine, 210 kilos for his opening pull. And as soon as these gentlemen hit their opening deadlift, they've secured their totals. And then they could start making some bigger jumps. Another consideration when choosing your attempt selection, you only have so much in you in terms of gas in the tank. And deadlifts tax the nervous system. You don't want to be 3 deadlifts at the top end. You'll be super tired by the end. And here, 3 white lights.
Putting it down very carefully.
Very controlled, yeah.
Bar is loaded for Vasil from Ukraine, 210 kilos.
He must be used to training deadlifts with neighbors yelling at him to keep it down.
Yeah, might be the case.
And 210, Vasil from Ukraine. We're back in the sub-juniors. Makes easy work.
Good play. The next one is Bianca Jabbar from Mongolia, 220 kilos, followed by Lucas.
Very important lift for the total. Keeping up the pace with Rubits.
For Bianca Jabbar.
Bian Bajargal from Mongolia, 220 kilos. Yeah, the Mongolian is within striking distance of Rubitz. And this is where it starts getting decided who hits and who misses in the second attempts, third attempts, how big of jumps can they take. You can see some shifting in terms of the placement.
Followed by Kevin Schmidt from Austria.
Having said that, Laha from the US, after he hits his opening deadlift, is going to be a solid favorite for the gold medal in the sub-juniors. But first, back into the juniors, 83 kilo, Lucas Rosenal from Czechia, 225 for his opening pull. A lot more conventional pulls here than we see in the 74 kilo class and below.
Yeah, and then especially in the suit, it's even more rare that we see people pull conventional. I would say, personally, I've tried pulling it, but I could find it very difficult to find the angle, very difficult in the bottom.
Just easier to get down there with the suit on if it's sumo.
Yeah, I would say so. But everyone has different angles and levers, so.
Staying in 83 kilo juniors, Kevin Schmidt from Austria, 235 kilo for his opening pull. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of chalk on his hands there.
I experienced yesterday with all the chalk and all the sweat is very warm back in the warm-up, so when you chalk up you almost get rinsed up with sweat immediately. So
it's gone by the time you hit the platform. Oscar now. Dahlqvist of Sweden. $245 kilos. Makes easy work of it.
Lift is good.
yeah, both the Swedish guys in the 83 have a special preference towards the deadlift, so hopefully we see some big jumps coming up here.
5 kilos.
Staying in 83s, Ludwig, 245. And that's about as smooth an opener as you can ask for.
Good lift.
I see it's hard for anyone to reach him now. He's far ahead in the total.
Yeah, his lead is substantial. Everyone else is pretty much fighting for the rest of the podium. Schmidt looks to be pulling ahead a little bit as well, but we'll see when Austin can cover some ground. But first, 250, 3 white lights. Wasn't the smoothest of openers, though.
No, it might have been the locked his knees quite early. Then he has to do the lockout, and this can be quite difficult in the suit if you lock out the knees too early. The lockout can be very hard.
Now we're back in the sub-juniors, and Christian Laha from US, 250 kilos. Not sure they're gonna like the shoulders.
No, didn't look like it was quite locked out there.
Yeah, take a look at the replay. The shoulders definitely slump. If he could get those shoulders back. Now he is the overall gold medal favorite. And he's got a substantial lead once he gets his opening deadlift in, opening deadlift weight. He's got 2 more attempts at it. All is not lost. Austin from Belgium, 255 for his opening pull. This is the last opening pull. We're back in the juniors. The referees do like that one.
I don't really know what he got that red light for.
Taking a look at the deadlifts. Obviously, very early days to be looking at any kind of placings after 1 round, but a bit of a surprise here with Laha. Hopefully that is not now. You can make an easy turnaround, pulling your shoulders back, but if that's how he trained and he never got checked in training and you're just used to it, that feels normal. You're used to having your shoulders in those positions slightly slumped and nobody's called you out on it in training. That's when it gets difficult, when the weight is platform weight, you're on the other side of the world, and now you have to completely adjust and it feels abnormal to you. That's a different situation. Hopefully that's not the case. We're going to find out. 205, we're in the sub-juniors. Zednik from Czechia goes 2 for 2.
Very quick.
The next one is David Rubets from Ukraine, 212.25 kilos.
David Rubits of the Ukraine, 212.5. Staying in the sub-junior still.
Good win. The next one is Kıvanç Kılıç from Turkey. He's coming up for 200.
Turkey's Kilic with 215.
Bar is loaded for Kıvanç.
10 kilo jump. Kilic, as he has all day, lifting raw. Still in the sub-juniors.
And the lift is good. 3 white lights. The next one is Vasil Bandut from Ukraine, followed by Björn Bajarda from Mongolia.
Vasil Bandit of Ukraine, 225 for his second attempt. 15 kilo jump. Wow, was 15 kilo too much?
His opener looked really smooth.
The next one is Björn Bajarda.
It's a little bit surprising. 15 kilos is a sizable jump, but you're right. 210 was no major ask. Now Sabatar of Mongolia opting to jump up 10 kilos.
Yeah, he really needs this lift to close in on Rubens for the third deadlift.
Rubits slightly ahead in the silver medal position, but wow, with how smooth that moved, not out of reason to expect Sabatar to possibly challenge that silver medal overall.
No, it will definitely come down to the last pull there.
Bar is loaded for Lucas.
And the Mongolian will be able to pull last, which is an advantage. Yeah, the Ukrainian that missed the second deadlift is opting not to come up for his third. Maybe he took an injury, and that's why. Back in the juniors, we go Lucas Rosenal of Czechia, 235. Ooh. Slowed right at the top of the quads, unable to lock that out.
The next one is Abed El Jabbar from Palestine, 240 kilos. Bar is
240 for Abid Al-Jabbar Skeik of Palestine.
30 kilo jumps from his first deadlift.
That's right. That is a sizable jump. Wow. It moved well. Did it move that well? We're about to find out. Or did he just play it super safe for his opener, and this is totally reasonable? And you know what? It was work, but it wasn't anything unreasonable. And he also lets it down very soft. Yeah, I think he just played it super safe for his opener.
Be interesting to see what his third attempt selection will be.
Another 30 kilo.
We hope so.
Yeah, well, it'd be entertaining, that's for sure. And you were saying how, you know, sometimes the projected can mislead you, because some people, even if it's a real opener and they're not changing the opener, some people like low openers and take massive jumps after that. So the prognosis given us in the beginning sometimes lies. We're back in the juniors. Kevin Schmidt of Austria, 245 kilos for his second attempt.
Good leg. Three
white lights, and it's a good lift.
From United States, 250 kilos.
Sits back, and no major sticking points. Straight to a beautiful lockout. And speaking of lockout, this is where Christian Laha, back into the sub-juniors, just has to get his shoulders back with 250 kilos. And once he does that, he is right back to being on pace for winning the sub-junior 83 kilo world title. That's better.
Yeah, that looked much better now.
Judges agree. And Laha back on the board. See the shoulders much better back. Chest is forward. Probably got a talking to when he got back. You know, the coaches told him, okay, you're fine. No need to hit the panic button, but just got to get the shoulders back, do the exact same thing. Now he's right back onto pace for winning the world title here. It'd be very difficult to see him not taking it. Back into the 83 kilo juniors, Oscar Dahlqvist of Sweden, 257.5 for his second attempt. And he gets it 2-1.
Looks like he got a slight tilt in the lockout.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it might have just been his upper body and not the barbell.
Bar is loaded for Simon.
Either way, he's on the board and moving forward. Fellow Swede, 260 for Bjorndal. Three whites and he's on the board.
The next one is Ludwig Moe from Norway. Bar is loaded for Ludwig, 260 kilos.
Nice 260 kilo pull by Ludwig, whom all but has that 83 kilo junior world title wrapped up. Now he's just piling on the kilos, executing beautifully in the deadlift event.
is loaded for Gregory from Belgium.
265 kilos loaded for Gregory Austin of Belgium. The final deadlift of the second round of pulls.
We say good lift.
3 white lights.
White lights with a smooth lift.
And now things get interesting. You're starting to see the totals emerge. Christian Laha from the U.S., a substantial lead in the sub-juniors. But we do have a bit of a close battle for that silver medal in the sub-juniors. And we'll have to see what happens in the final round of polls in the 83-kilo juniors. Ludwig also a substantial lead. And Kevin Schmidt from Austria looked like he's settling into the bronze or silver medal position, And Gregory Austin also pretty good lead in the bronze. We don't expect any major shakeups, but we'll have to see. And let's also keep in mind, this is the total medals. There's individual event medals also in play here for the deadlifts. And I do have a moment. Let me give a quick shout out to our sponsors as we take a peek at the deadlifts and their standings. SPD and Alico, all of this equipment supplied here for the World Championships, and SBD, several of the kits for the national teams. And let's take a look at the deadlift event. Christian Laha with a massive 250 really secured that world title. Mongolia currently in silver, and Kilic, the local lifter who's lifting raw, currently now in the bronze. One more round of deadlifts to pull. And in the junior class, Gregory Austin of Belgium in the lead with Simon of Sweden and Ludwig right behind him in the silver and bronze medal position for the deadlifts. One more round of deadlifts to go, though. And a reminder, you could change your final deadlift twice. We could see some jockeying around of positions here. David Rubitz of Ukraine in the sub-juniors, 217.5 kilos loaded. This will temporarily put him into the bronze medal deadlift position and the silver overall. Struts off the platform. A job well done for him. Look like we already have a change attempt in there. I told you that we might see some jockeying around. This is where the coaching staff for the national teams start playing the game, as they say. And Kilic from host nation Turkey will come out to 220 kilos. In the overall, based off a total, he's in 5th. But if he hits this, he'll pull himself onto the deadlift podium for bronze. Yep, do not forget to clasp that belt. Costly mistake.
Come on, Guanch.
He hits it. 3 white lights, and he's in the bronze medal position. 3 more lifters left. Will he be able to hang on to that bronze? We'll find out. Zednik from Czechia, 220 kilo, will stay on the bar for him. Looking to push Kilic off the deadlift podium and grab that bronze from him.
Based on his 2 previous attempts, he has been one of the fastest lifters this session. It's gone up 15 kilos both times, but he's done it with speed, so I'm confident.
We'll see. They're pulling the same. He is a little less weight, almost 2 kilo less. Oh, wow. And he snags the bronze.
Next one is Lucas from Czech Republic.
Moving back into the 83 kilo junior class. 235 kilos being loaded for the third and final pull of Lucas Rosenal of Czechia.
Bar is loaded for Lucas from Czech Republic. 235 kilos.
Stalled out just over the knees, a little too much.
Next one is Jan from Mongolia. 245 kilos.
Moving back to the sub-juniors, and here it is, we had been talking about it. Sadbatar of Mongolia loading 245 kilos to pull himself from bronze medal position into silver medal position over Rubits of Ukraine. And Rubits already done pulling, so this is the advantage that the bigger deadlifter has. They get to go after you and possibly swap their medal for yours. Can he swap the bronze for silver? It's a 15 kilo jump. It's reasonable.
Yeah, he looks solid, but we don't know what his capacity is yet.
And on any given day when it's the World Championships, some people's capacity has a whole new ceiling. Oh, it's shaky.
He's fighting.
You know what? I'm not sure. It's he definitely locked it out. No. Let's see. When you get one white, you're allowed to approach the jury. Team Mongolia rarely does, though.
The next one is
Yeah, I can't really see it down.
Maybe.
250 kilos.
Right after you said that, it might have happened. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I know. Right up when you said that, there hadn't been yet. I'm not sure.
It looked
It is
shaky,
what it
but it
is.
was a close call.
It was a close call. Back into the juniors. Kevin Schmidt of Austria,
Bar is loaded
250 kilos. He's going to finish with a silver medal overall. 5th in deadlifts.
and Goodman.
3 whites and it's good.
The next one is Oscar Dalbrest from Sweden. 260 kilos.
And representing Sweden, Oscar Dahlqvist, 260 kilos being loaded. And in the 83 kilo junior class, it'll temporarily pull him into 2nd for deadlifts as he sits 4th overall.
Sweden.
Sista medaljen, kom igen! Nu vill vi detta, kom igen nu! Yes! Yes! Ja, bra! Fortsätt!
A little too much.
Next one, Abed El Jabbar from Palestine.
Staying in the 83 kilo juniors. And Abed Al-Jabbar from Palestine, 260 kilos. 7th overall. In the deadlifts, he's in 6th position, and this will pull him into silver medal position.
20 kilo increase from his last attempt.
Yeah, it's sizable. I tell you what. So he had moved 30 kilos up from his opener, and we, eyebrows raised, were questioning it, and it moved like a second attempt should. This is probably the type of attempt selection he enjoys. He's used to it. Oh no. I don't think that'll pass. Good effort. Probably a stitch too much.
Yeah, but applause for him. That was a solid grind.
Yep, I'd agree. Instead of hunting that deadlift silver, might have maybe eyed the bronze.
There's an attempt change, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a great effort, and then we have an attempt change. Okay.
Next one is Simon Bjorndal. He's coming up for
So your countryman
70
here,
kilos.
Bjorndal, changed to 270 kilo.
Yeah, I think it's trying to move up. He's a slightly lower body weight than Ludwig from Norway, and they're also going to the 270.
Bjorndal.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Overall 5th, but for the deadlift, he'll move from silver to gold with 2 more lifters to go after him, though.
And the referee say
2-1, it's good. And so far, anyways, that is your gold medalist for the deadlift event.
Ladies and gentlemen, have an attempt change.
Another attempt change here. Okay.
Next one is
So the Norwegian now upped from 270 to 272.5. And what's his body weight? He's the heaviest of the last two. We're going to go back to the sub-juniors, though. 270 kilo loaded for Laha of the U.S. Now he's already got the sub-junior 83 kilo world championship wrapped up. So a 20 kilo jump is risking nothing.
United States,
He's got the gold medal for deadlift, gold medal overall.
70 kilos.
If this is a number he had in mind, he's not risking anything by loading up for it. With the world championships, might as well have a little bit of fun with it. Look a good pull for me.
And the referee say
Judges agree, and that moved quite well.
Yeah, definitely did.
Look, if 250 was opening weight, maybe 270, although, you know, it's 20 kilo, it's not as crazy of a jump, and he probably expected maybe even to finish off a little heavier after 3 rounds of pulls. Nevertheless, we're back in the 83 kilo juniors, where Ludwig will load up 272.5, 601 pounds to move from bronze medal to gold medal in the deadlifts. He already has the world title locked up. It would be the ultimate of Hail Marys if Austin of Belgium loaded up for the world title. A little too much.
not today.
He'll have to settle for the overall world title.
I think he'll be quite happy
Yeah,
with that.
I think he'll be fine.
Belgium, 270.
He leaves with his head down off the platform as he'll be all smiles when he's on the podium for the medal ceremony.
If that's the case, you always want more.
You always, isn't that the case for life in general, young man? And 275 being loaded for Gregory Austin of Belgium. 606 pounds. He's in the bronze medal overall, and that's his. But he can move from silver to gold in the deadlift event.
275 kilos.
There's some bobbles, and you got the down command after the bobble, so I don't think he's got it. No. Bronze medal overall, silver medal in the deadlift event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the medal ceremony.
You can see right about there.
Yeah,
It's very slight. It's very slight.
Yeah.
You know, the judges might have been tempted to give it to him, but not today. So a look at the deadlifts. Christian Laha with a monstrous 270, easily clinching the gold. Sad Batar from Mongolia taking the silver, and Zednik of Czechia taking the bronze. And this is the sub-juniors. Moving into the juniors, where Simon from Sweden will take a gold medal with 270. Gregory Austin of Belgium, 265 is good enough for the silver. And Ludwig taking the bronze medal with 260. Looking at the overall, your 83 kilo sub-junior world champion representing the U.S., Christian Laha, David Rubitz of Ukraine taking the silver, and representing Mongolia, Sabatar taking the bronze. And he was an exciting lifter facing possible elimination earlier today, ending his day on the podium representing his nation. And looking at the 83 kilo juniors, Ludwig walking away with the gold medal with a massive spread, 765 kilo total. Kevin Schmidt of Austria with a 722.5, good enough for silver, and Gregory Austin of Belgium with a 695, netting the bronze. We had some theatrics, we had some back and forth, we had some comebacks. It was exciting stuff, my friend. Thank you for joining me in the booth, and everyone listening, don't go anywhere. We have the medal ceremony coming up, and later on today, the 76s and 84 pluses. Make sure you come back and join us. Until then, Ryan Sixpack Lapidat
And Theodore Eriksson.
See you then.
ceremony, we have Robert Keller from United States. He's the General Secretary of the IPF. Big hands for all the lifters and Robert Keller from United States. And now, in the 83 kilogram sub-juniors, in the squats, third place is for Vasil Bandot from Ukraine. And for the second place, we have David Rubets from Ukraine. And the squat champion is Christian Laja from United States. Thank you. Moving on to the bench press, 83 kilos sub-juniors. Third place is for Laja Christian, United States. The second place, Sotbatar Biambajargal from Mongolia. And the first place is for David Rubets from Ukraine. Thank you. And for the deadlift, third place is for Matej Zednik from Czech Republic. Second place, Sotbatar Biambajargal from Mongolia. And the first place is for Christian Laja from United States. Thank you. And 83 kilogram sub-juniors total. Third place is for Sotbatar Biambajargal from Mongolia. The second place is for David Rubets from Ukraine. And the sub-junior 83 kilo champion Christian Laja from United States. And please stand up for the national anthem of the United States. Thank you. Now we move into the 83 kilogram juniors. In the squat, third place is for Lukas Rozenal from Czech Republic. The second place is for Oskar Dahlqvist from Sweden. And the first place is for Ludvig Mohn from Norway. Thank you. In the bench press, third place is for Gregory Austin from Belgium. The second place is for Ludvig Mohn from Norway. First place is for Kevin Schmidt, Austria. Thank you very much. And the deadlift. Third place is Ludvig Mohn from Norway. The second place, Gregory Austin from Belgium. deadlift champion is Simon Bjorndal from Sweden. Thank you. 83 kilogram juniors in total. Third place is for Gregory Austin from Belgium. Second place is for Kevin Schmidt from Austria. And the juniors champion is Ludvig Mohn from Norway. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Norway. Big hands for all the athletes competing today. A round of applause for the